the Doctor will see you now. Hello everyone, welcome to the video. Today we're going to be bringing you two races from Monday. Start of the week, we've got two of the Daily Race C at the moment. And this was a fun race. I like this race. It's very tricky to control these cars, but there's a lot of fun to be had in learning to do so. So we're going to jump straight into the first race of the two I'm bringing you today, and we are at Fuji. It is race C, so fuel and tyres are a factor here, but it's still a no-stop. It's racing hard tyres. If you were out in front and you got a decent gap to second place, you might want to come in for a new set of hard tyres halfway through the race, but other than that, it's not really worth it. So, getting back to the action, we've already gone up a couple of places here. Gone up a third one, and then there's a little bit of side contact. I didn't quite see that guy. I haven't got my radar turned on. Like an absolute muppet. As we come round up to the hairpin, we get a little nose in there to Blue Fox, but he gets a better drive on the way out. He sees us off. Coming down towards Dunlop, and it's very tight here. A lot of cars, a lot of concertina effect, and then I just get on the power a little bit early, and it costs us 10th and 11th. And then we get punted wide by the guy in the Porsche there. I found the Mercedes to be my favourite car to use for this race, as it was top of the leaderboards. Some people, I think, going for the Porsche and the 787B because they're a little bit easier to control, but in my opinion, all these cars are impossible to control, so you might as well learn to control the fastest one, if that makes sense. You're going to put the time in, do it in the car that's going to give you the most rewards. Why wouldn't you? We get a lovely drive out of the first turn there. Got a good gain on the Porsche on our left hand side. He's not going to be able to do anything about it, even though he shoves his nose in. He didn't have enough of a car alongside us, so we take back 11th place. Still got a lot of work to do here though. There's a big pack up ahead, everybody getting a little bit argy-bargy. We can still make gains, and we go from 11th up to 9th, but we pick up a penalty. Late on the brakes, get ourselves up to 7th position, get on the power, almost bin it, but we are away. Unfortunately, all that hard work to get ahead of that pack is going to be undone when we get to the top of this section, because we have that second penalty to deal with. Pull off the racing line, serve our penalty, we lose only one place. The rest of that pack must have really ploughed into each other through that final section. So as we come down to turn 1, we're going to set our sights back on our Porsche. Another motor comes out of nowhere, late on the brakes. He doesn't get on the power very early, so we secure our position now. Coming through the Coca-Cola corner here, nice speed carried through there. And this corner is very tricky to get right. It's all about throttle control. Down into the hairpin, following this Porsche, making gains, but still a lot to do here in this race. Don't think we're going to catch first, second or third. They are well off in the distance. Well, they're not well off in the distance. There could be possibilities of it, but we've got a small group ahead of us we've got to deal with first. and hopefully we can pick our way past very quickly. Coming up through the final section, very open to interpretation online through these final corners. This final corner definitely. Some people like to throw it in deep, get a good drive out. Some people hold a tighter line, sacrificing the exit speed but not leaving the door open to an overtake. So you've got a lot of choice there, which makes it quite tricky to find the fastest line, really. At least for me, anyway. Down into turn 1. Everybody getting very close. Pixie up ahead, gets on the power nice and early, maintains that gap between us. And come round through Coca-Cola. Porsche gets it all wrong. I couldn't get out of the way quick enough. A little bit of contact, nothing sinister. And we are through. Keep a nice tight line on the hairpin, get on the power as early as you dare. Using full width of the track. And we're going to try and make a move on Pixie. Although Porsche's sending one up the inside, it's a nice move. Not a lot I could do about that. Pulled that off with perfect poise. So we're coming up to start lap 5 now. Well, after a few more corners. Pretty much in the same place we were a lap ago. Gotta try and pick our way past these boys. If we can. 2 Frenchmen and an Englishman. It's an Englishman sandwich with a French dressing. So, one more time down the back straight. Throw it in there, hit that apex, absolutely sweet. We close that gap down. Coming through Coca-Cola. Nice and early on the power. We get out of the way of the Porsche that time, but he's on the brakes around that corner, which you definitely shouldn't be. So as we come back down to Dunlop, throws a move up the inside. Doesn't phase Blue Fox, he stays out of the way. And the Porsche goes off into the distance. No more Mr. Porsche, 1 Frenchman down. Oh, and the Englishman gets on the power a little bit early. Old Blue Fox is all over the place. Try and leave him a little bit of space there. I got it a little bit tight now. But we got the inside for the final corner. Bit of a bad exit. But we should be saved by the slipstream of the Frenchman up ahead. Old Pixie. Although we are just outside of the slipstream range, so the Englishman's going to get a run, but he knocks into the back of us and ruins his drive. Porsche throws it up from a mile back. It's Louis Pinto, not that impressed with his dive bombs. He gets it all wrong through Coca-Cola. Blue Fox punts him off. Hopefully we'll see no more of the Frenchman. Unfortunately, Blue Fox gets himself a 3-second penalty for that, and I don't even think it was an intentional move. But hey ho, that's the penalty system for you. Oh, we get a little nudge there. Just run him out wide. Keep him on the outside, going into Dunlop. And we secure ourselves 6th place. But now, the hunt for Pixie began. Pixie's a bit wide, we skipped ahead a little bit here. There was a bit of time to make up on Pixie. But we are now firmly in the slipstream. And the fight is on. Come into Dunlop. Nice tight apex. Keep it tight for the second one. Get on the power. Be careful on the power as you come out of there, because that right hand curb is slippery. Keep a nice trail brake all the way out. Cut back for the apex. Had to hold off on getting on the power there, as we would have collided with Pixie. And nice drive out of the final turn. We've got the run. Nothing Pixie can do about that. Though he does come back a little bit there. We are neck and neck coming down towards turn 1. Pixie's later on the brakes. But he goes deep, misses his apex, and we secure 5th place. So we skipped ahead a lap here. Might have been 2 laps actually. We skipped the boring bits anyway. We bring you the action. So we've caught up to GT Mini Bull. Oh, Mini Bully. GT Mini Bully. And work our way past. He kind of half thinks about slamming that door, but he doesn't manage it. And we're through. I think he liked it. It looks like he's going to throw a dive bomb up the inside, which I stay well and truly out of the way of, and then I get all over the marbles and mess up my acceleration. We skip ahead here to the end of the start-finish straight. We've caught up to the back of GT Mini Bully, and we're going to try and sort out a move going into Coca-Cola. Earlier on the brakes, cut back, earlier on the power. There we go. It's pretty much all she wrote for that race. And we're going to jump straight back into the next race here, race C again. Like I said before, I really enjoyed this race. It was a very fun race to do. Got 4 people choosing a range of cars in this one. You got the 787, the XJR, and the Merc as well. Can't remember what the others are called. Didn't get to read them in time. But here we go. Lap 1. We're out in front. We qualified this time. Let's see what we can do from the front of the pack. We've seen what I can do from the back of the pack. How do we do going into turn 1? Well, I already know how we do into turn 1. We are going to get rudely punted by Yardin. He is... Well, wasn't a very nice move. I punt that guy. I spin. I get hit. It's all a mess. It goes so wrong so quickly. And we are down in 19th. So yeah, this is now a first to last to first challenge. We skip ahead here just to till we catch up with the pack. We go down into Dunlop and there is chaos everywhere. Lots of people with penalties. One guy off into the dirt. He gets sent back in time. We are up to 18th. Now, we've definitely got 17th and 16th are going to be ours because they're serving their penalties after these next 2 corners. We've got one guy off in the gravel to the left, one guy off to the right. So we're already up to 16th place. And guy in 17th there, holding his line very nicely. He serves a penalty. A couple of people here that serve penalties as well, so that's 15th and 14th that are going to be ours. We're making tremendous headway here. Later on the brakes down into turn 1. It's 13th. The Merc comes back, but he's way too deep. And we come out of that corner in 12th, so we gained another couple into there. Through Coca-Cola. Carry decent speed, get it a little bit wide, but it's all good. Go around the outside of that guy. Hold our line tight. Get a better exit than the guy on the left there. and we almost get up into 10th, but he holds his line well, keeps good speed, gets on the power nice and early and holds us off. So we are now coming down to Dunlop again, and the guy ahead of us gets a penalty. I'm not sure what he actually got that for, but he's not happy with that at all. He is lagging all over the show. Get a tighter line out of that corner. We're going to be on the outside for the next one though, so it's not going to account for much. Amount to much, I should say. We go nice and wide, cut back for the apex. Don't quite hit it, but we get a decent drive out, and that is us up to 9th place. Now we have 8th in our sights ahead. We've got plenty of time left in this race, only lap 3. So a lot to be done, but a lot of time to do it. And we come around into the first corner. We're already making good headway on 8th place. The gap is coming down rapidly. Only 1.2 seconds. We should be right on him in no time. I'm flying through Coca-Cola. Absolutely ludicrous speed. Nice and feathering the throttle through there. The Spaniard gets it all wrong, touches the dirt, goes wide, and that is us up to 8th. So, looking forward, getting on to the back of 7th. Got a nice little group up ahead. 5th should be ours in no time. And we're making good progress, keeping it nice and tidy. Just got to be real smooth on the power in these cars. Smooth as you can. 2nd gear all the way up here. Don't change up to 3rd for this last corner. It's not helpful. Smooth exit. We're in the slipstream. Robert Zimmerman just touches the guy in front, so we should have the run on him. He goes very defensive. That's fine, we can take the outside line. Don't mind a bit of that. He's still ahead of us at this point. He's later on the brakes than us. Not a bad drive from Zimmerman so far. We are on the power earlier, but he's got the inside. So this isn't going to go in our favour. Yeah, a little nudge through there. Was bound to happen. Nothing sinister about that. Rubbing's racing, as long as there's no intent behind it. We go for the move around the outside of Zimmerman, but it doesn't quite come off. We could have had it there, but he gets on the power nice and early. He's not too bad a driver, this Zimmerman guy. Unfortunately, find ourselves on the outside again, and he just gets on the power nicely there and swoops in to maintain his position again. He puts an indicator on. I don't know quite what that was to indicate. Maybe just the telling me to check out how nice that move was, because it really was. It was a well played, well executed defence. So we're coming down the back straight again. Zimmerman's got decent pace, not actually making too much headway on him, but even though we've been fighting him that whole lap, we have caught up to the back of 5th. Or at least he has. I've got a little gap to make up, but I can do that. Late on the brakes into turn 1, get it hooked into that apex. Henwoods goes wide, and we are up into 6th place. Zimmerman is also through, so we're just going to follow him through. If he's making decent speed, no point fighting him anymore. We'll just follow him through every time he makes an overtake. Keeping it nice and tight through here. Get on the power nice and early. Early as you dare. Don't spin those back wheels too much. The nice thing about these cars is you can actually keep the power oversteer. Although they kick their back ends out, if you're ready for it with the counter steer, it's actually not that too difficult to hold. They're very well balanced. So Zimmerman having a good go at the Italian up ahead. And he's around the outside, he sweeps across, but the Italian gives him a little nudge, tells him no. He's having none of that. And that's a good thing for us, because that brings us back into the fight slightly. We're now within the slipstream, so see what we can do on lap 6. Pack getting a little more spread out now. Zimmerman's up the inside of the Italian, a beautiful little move there. And we want to make this move happen fairly quickly on the Italian, otherwise we're going to lose touch with Zimmerman, and that is what we don't want. We go around the outside there. Absolute blinder of a move. He didn't even know what happened. And he goes for the punt. He didn't like it. But luckily we're saved by the ghosting. Because that was quite a savage punt. Like, that was a clean move. I don't know why you were annoyed with that. I would have been clapping my hands if somebody did that to me. It was beautiful. And he goes for another punt out of nowhere. You see him in the mirror there. Just no point, mate. You're not going to get back past. You've been left for dust. Accept your fate. So we've now got third in the sights. We are still keeping touch with Zimmerman here. We're just going to try and get onto that podium if we can. We skip ahead here. A little bit of a boring lap, that one. And Zimmerman is fighting third place. Goes around the outside, he gets a little bit wide. That Italian does not want to lose his place. And I'm now wondering, the guy before was actually Italian, because that's a different flag. I think I got that wrong. Please correct me in the comments of what the previous so-called Italian flag actually was. Because I'm not that great with flags. I'm always happy to learn. We come down into turn 1. Zimmerman's got the overlap. He's got the inside. Nothing Van Basten can do. We come up to Coca-Cola again. I know I've said this name of this corner a lot, but it's the only one I know. We're up the inside of Van Basken. He's got no hope around the outside of this turn here. And we come up to the hairpin and want to make moves onto Zimmerman, really. We're still in touch, but he is quick. He's a quick guy. We're going to have our work cut out to beat him. Coming down into Dunlop. Nice apex through there. Get on the power nicely. Hold it all the way up the hill. Rail brake it in. On the power early again. And nice trail brake. We hook this section up very nicely. We'll make a lot of time on Robert. And we get a really nice exit out of here. And we are firmly in the slip. So we will have a good run down into turn 1. Hopefully we can make the move stick. Zimmerman goes defensive. We'll let him have that line. Very late on the brakes. We go for the outside. A little bit of nudging, but it's nothing major. Doesn't affect our speed out of the turn. He holds us narrow. We don't allow that. And we are through. Skip ahead. And we are on to the back of AJ. Almost knock him off the track there. Not quite though. He takes a very narrow line. We get a good run on the exit. See you later, second place. Now we are hunting Yardin, the man who punted us off at the beginning. Start of this race with a very violent move, which I was not too happy about. AJ comes back on the brakes. He's way too deep. And our position is secure. We skip ahead to lap 13, the final lap of this race. And Yardin is in sight. We are almost within that slipstream. We are just outside it, but keep the pressure up. He must know at this point that we're chasing him. I'm not sure if he knows that we've come from 19th place to catch him back up, but I'm sure if he did, he'd be worried. So we keep chasing here, trying to keep our acceleration points earlier and our apexes tight. Down into Dunlop. Hook that apex up, get on the power, get off the power, get back on the power. We are making moves here. We have got Yardin in our sights, and it's right about now that I give in to my desires to punt him, and I shouldn't have, because he took such a tight line there, and then I get it all wrong, and it all goes to pot. And that is what happens when you give in to your anger. Because if I'd have taken the normal racing line, I'd have had a better run out, would have beaten him onto the straight, and I would have won this race, and it would have felt so much better than what just happened. So, after being very proud of most of that race, I was utterly ashamed of my second place there, because that was all my fault. It should have been a first, but there it is, 19th to 2nd. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.